I want to detach from this show so bad. Like, I want my life back. Hey y'all, my name is Shay and I like to talk. So let's talk. This video is definitely long overdue. Today is September 4th. Literally, the show ended a month and a half ago. But I was like, listen, what a great way to get back into my YouTube channel, get back into my commentary bag by talking about the #1 show of the summer, okay? I was making TikTok recaps on my spam TikToks that were going viral for the first time ever. If you want to follow me on my spam TikTok, you're more than welcome to do so. I was just talking crap. One video of me talking about Taylor literally got 300,000 likes. I was like, now wait a minute. Are we going viral out here? Like, what? I do know a new season of the Love Island games is coming out September 19th or 16th, one of them. I probably won't be watching that because I don't know. I only like Alandria now. And if Alandria is not going to be on there, then what's the point? But I don't know. We'll see. If everybody else watching it, then maybe I'll watch it. I don't know. Being as though so much has happened in this month and a half since the show has ended, I'm going to part this video into 3 parts. I hope this video is not too long. So the first part of this video is I'm going to be talking about what my predictions were for this season, especially based off of the first 2 episodes. Obviously, we're going to talk about each Islander individual. I'm not going to go too in depth on each Islander because once again, I don't want this video to be too long, but I'm going to leave a timestamp for your favorite Islander right here. If you don't care about anybody else and want to go to your fave, you're more than welcome to skip through and go straight to them. After that, I'm going to be talking about the reunion. Then I'm going to be talking about Ace's interview because obviously that broke the freaking internet. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it, okay? So my predictions. I literally wrote down my prediction for this season based off of the first 2 episodes. My first prediction was Shelly, Ace, and Alandria becoming a love triangle. Honey, listen. I'm not gonna lie, I really thought that was going to happen. Like, I really did. I did not see Nick and Alandria's future at all through my prediction. The minute she said breast milk on your lips with an Ace, I was like, okay, so she likes how he looks, but it's that age thing. The minute she kissed him in the blindfold challenge, and I think Ace kissed Shelly, Alandria, and Hutta. Alandria only kissed Ace, I think. So I really thought it was going to be a love triangle there. We didn't get it, but whatever. I thought Taylor was supposed to be dumped week 2. Well, let's keep it real. Taylor was not supposed to be there. I think there was tweets going around the beginning of the season when it first dropped, like when it first came out, that he was a replacement of someone else. Like, someone had dropped out and he had came in as a replacement. Like, look at his burnt chest compared to everyone else's like body. Like, he was not supposed to be there. Like, typically people that come on Love Island, 6-pack, you know, athletic build, he had none of that. He was definitely casted specifically for Alandria. So it's quite interesting to see how he carried himself in this season, knowing he was not supposed to be there to begin with. But definitely thought he was going to be Ben dumped. I really thought it was going to be a fine ass Ezekiel. What's that thing? Xavier Leggett. I thought it was going to be an Xavier Leggett type bombshell that was coming for Alandria, but that never happened. I thought Hutta and Jeremiah was going to stay together till Casa Amor. I really wanted to see Hutta's Casa Amor crash out. Something compared to like Serena and Kayla when they got those videos. Really thought the crash out was not going to come until then. But honey, we got it way earlier than that. And then my last one, I said Taylor and Alandria not lasting, which I kind of predicted. Everyone else, I didn't really care about. Once again, my clients were Alandria and Shelly. But anyway, let me know what y'all thought was going to happen when the season started, or what y'all predicted was going to happen when the season started, and see if any of that came true. But yeah, let's move on to the Islanders. Okay, first Islander I'm going to talk about is Austin. I genuinely have no idea how he lasted that long. Don't get me wrong. Like, Austin is not a bad looking guy. Obviously, everybody wanted him gone when he found out he was a trumpet. The fact that he stayed as long as he did was kind of shocking to everyone. To be honest, it's Ace's fault, but we'll get to that in a second. I knew him and Shelly were not going to work out. I was surprised when Shelly kissed him first, but I knew him and Shelly was not going to last. Plus, he kept complaining when it came to Ace and Shelly. It's like, I'll give it to Ace. Ace was putting in work. And like, instead of like, I don't know, like Austin stepping up his plate, he decided to complain. Shelly Charlie had every right to like move on. Hopefully I'm not blurry because that would be so annoying. So next we're gonna move on to Charlie. Charlie being the first male bombshell, I was definitely underwhelmed. I'm not gonna lie. Obviously Love Island USA cannot go one season without having a foreigner, whether it's Australian or freaking the UK. He really didn't make no noise. Him going after Shelly was, I mean, expected. Like, I don't know, because Belle Dasher wasn't really doing anything. So Shelly, I don't know. I felt bad for Charlie when he did get dumped though, because I do feel like him and Hannah were hitting it off. I do feel like he was the easier vote. He mentioned that in that reunion. He was the easier vote. The girls were not voting out Huda and the guys were not voting out Taylor. It just wasn't happening. So like when it comes to Love Island, friends do come out of it. And if you're not making no friends, then you're shooting yourself in the foot. Did feel bad for him, but honestly didn't care if he stayed or go. I'm not gonna lie. Jeremiah. Listen. Now, Jeremiah, I will say, seeing how he is outside of the villa compared to where he was in the villa, he definitely got a villain edit. He most definitely got a villain edit. And I feel like that's not talked about enough, how Jeremiah literally got a villain edit. Now, granted, he kept mentioning how his type is exotic and Latinas. Obviously, being a black girl and watching this as a black woman, I didn't really care if Jeremiah stayed or go. Like, you're obviously... We know what type of we know what your type is. We know what type of person you are. Like, we get it. Honestly, when he was dumped, I really didn't care. But I do feel like him coming out, he definitely got a villain edit. Was he scamming? And in a sense, like how we saw it on the show, it was a little weird because it was like how he was moving with Huda was so quick and so, well, it did look like they were scheming together. Like, let's stay together. Let's not explore. Let's just ride this thing to the end. Like, it really felt like they were doing that. But I understood where Ace was coming from in a sense where it felt like that, but I don't know, maybe he just likes girls too quick and he was just applying unnecessary pressure that wasn't really needed, especially that early on. But I don't think he was a bad guy, but I don't know, he was doing a little bit too much in the beginning, and I don't care what no one says. The minute Huda mentioned she had a child, it definitely turned him off. I don't care. I'm gonna talk about how he was in the reunion in a minute, but he definitely redeemed himself once the show ended and how he's acting outside the villa. So I wish him nothing but the best. Anyway, on to the next Islander, Sierra. The first female bombshell of the season. I liked Sierra. It was one point in the season she was the most followed female Islander, or she was the most followed Islander at one point. Like, I liked Sierra. Like, I don't know, like I did. Like, I love the way she articulated herself when it came to expressing her emotions and her feelings towards Nick and her feelings towards certain issues. Like, I found her very articulate. I don't know where people got this whole, like, oh, she was putting it on for the camera, or she, you know, she's faking. I don't know. She's a clout chaser. I don't know how people got that. I didn't get that vibe from her. But yeah, like, she was definitely in my top 4. Like, it was Alandria, Shelly, Amaya, and Sierra at one point. Like, I liked her. Obviously, since she got removed from the villa, there was some weird posts and there's some shady posts when it regards to Nick and some towards Alandria. Yeah, obviously that was kind of distasteful, but I can understand her feeling hurt. This is where the empathy comes in, right? Like, I try to empathize with her. Like, obviously she was removed from the show from a slur she said, I think like a 2024, 2023, I think. Granted, as soon as she used it, she immediately apologized, right? So I think in the original screenshot, she did apologize for that. So it's like saying a slur, immediately apologizing, but then someone holding on to that screenshot and then editing it to make it seem like you said something that you didn't, and then going on a show and then really falling for a guy just to be removed from that set show, and then to find out the world was not only hating on you, calling you a mean girl, but they were shipping your guy with one of your friends. And I'm not even talking about random people on TikTok. I'm talking about NFL franchises. I'm talking about celebrities. I'm talking about like influencers all over TikTok. Like, that's a lot to take in. Like, she was ripped from the show. Like, I feel for her, but honestly, let this be a lesson out there. Make sure you're not saying any slurs or you will be ripped from a show and you will be ripped away from the guy that you thought you had a future with. Feel bad for her, but honestly, it happens. She took accountability. I'm not in the Asian community, so I can't say people should accept or deny it, but you know, we move on. As a Nicolandria fan, a lot of y'all Nicolandrias, please leave that girl alone. Let her be shady in peace. Like, I don't even think she's being shady sometimes. I do feel like some of y'all be reaching. Like, leave baby girl alone. Let her fall into oblivion, please. If she's being shady, then let her be shady. That's not going to do her any good. If she's genuinely not and y'all reaching, Like, please. Anyway, on to the next Islander. Amaya Papaya. As I mentioned before, Amaya Papaya was in my top 4 clients. Once again, it was Alandria, Shelly, Sierra, and Amaya. I liked Amaya. I thought she came in fiery. I think she came in doing exactly what she needed to do. I hated how, you know, Huda was on her weird-ish, as always, saying, oh, she's messy. She's trying to do this. She's trying to do that. No, she's trying to be a bombshell, which is what she was supposed to do. I enjoyed her in the beginning. Obviously, I didn't really like that part where she came for Shelly. Generally thought that was unnecessary. Still don't know why she came for Shelly, and I don't know, because at the end of the day, like, obviously A is setting boundaries for her. In a sense, it was kind of weird because why did you pick her if you didn't want her to touch you? Ace then explained later that she was trying to mark her territory when it came to Ace. So in a sense, I understand, but it's like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. I guess it was just how it was edited. I don't know. I didn't really like how mine came for Shelly about what Ace was doing. How can Shelly control what Ace is doing when Ace chose you? Why are you taking it out on Shelly? If she would have cussed Ace out, I was right there with her. Like, you right, cuss his ass out. But why are you taking it out on Shelly? She has no control of what he doing with you because he chose you. But that's my only thing about my Papaya. And since I'm happy that she won, in a sense, but I knew her and Brian were not gonna last. I'm not even gonna lie, because it definitely felt like she was more into it than he was. And everybody know one of the least successful relationships are when the woman is more interested in the man. If the woman is more into it than the man, they never last long. But I thought we had till Christmas. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't think it was gonna be like, what, 5 weeks? Like, what the hell? But she $50,000 richer, so... And she's finna get all this money from brand deals, so I wish her nothing but the best. I wish she would separate herself from Huda, but a lot of people saying that they're the same person in different fonts, and I believe it. Next case, or next Islander. Huda. Listen, here's my thing about Huda. I never voted for Huda any type of voting ever, but I did think she was great television. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest and say Huda's great television. I'm not going to lie. I genuinely believe that had she had left, the season would have been boring. I'm not going to lie. I do feel like she did ruin, in a sense, Jeremiah's love on experience. I do feel like they were both kind of just doing too much too fast, and it was obviously going to crash and burn eventually. I'll never forget, we had to vote for which bombshell was going to go with which couple, and everyone voted for Iris to go with Jeremiah. I will never forget, we were literally counting down to Sunday waiting for those results to hit. It was literally like the freaking Super Bowl when that episode dropped, because we were all anticipating for Hurricane Huda. Like, I'm sorry, like, she made great television. At the end of the day, she did. Like, she made great television. I do feel like she's emotionally immature, extremely emotionally immature. Like, I genuinely believe she cannot take accountability, even if it was punching her in the face. Like, I genuinely don't think so. I do feel like she did create a toxic environment for all the Islanders. So to see how she tried to come out and paint this victim thing, I thought it was hilarious, but welcome to America. And I do honestly feel like if it was a Black woman like Alandria doing this or Shelly doing this, we would not be getting the same response. She would not have gotten a redemption arc by any means. And it really is sad to see how so many non-Black women get away with so much and we can barely do the bare minimum. At the end of the day, she was great television. Don't really like her. I do think she is a certified weirdo, but it is what it is. If you like Huda, you're more than welcome to do so. You're probably 12. It is what it is. Next Islander. Next we have Hannah. I really don't know why I added Hannah in the list of Islanders I wanted to talk about. I think she's cute. I think she was adorable. I do think she kind of had a bad hand in this. Well, not really, but I don't know. I do feel bad for her in the sense that, like, Charlie was taken from her, and then you have, so she got dumped. So we took her away from Pepe, and then Charlie got dumped and we took Charlie away from her. So she had a bad hand at it. I really do feel bad. The crazy thing about the deliberations, and I'll get more into that about in the reunion section of this video, just how, like, it was gonna be saying, like, Alandria was like, we should go based off connections, and Shelly was like, no, we should do this. I thought that was so interesting. And also, I guess I'll add this part in there. I find it real interesting how, like, in the reunion, like, Charlie was like, you know, we haven't really spoke, and then Hannah was like, yeah, there's no future there. I'm not interested. What? The people saying, like, she found out that Charlie was a trumpet, so that kind of makes sense. I don't know. Moving on. Iris! I liked Iris. I thought she was gorgeous. I still think she's gorgeous. When she came in, she really didn't make any noise. I felt bad for her. No, I'm not like, I really did feel bad for her. I feel like she was thrown in something that she had no control over when it came to like her coupling up with Jeremiah. However, like, she's a gorgeous girl. She's cute. Her and TJ, boring. I thought at one point she was going to couple up with Nick, but that didn't happen. I don't know. Her and Pepe breaking up was not surprising within the slightest. And I knew she was going to like try it with Pepe and see if there was something there, but I knew it wasn't going to last long because Pepe likes blondes in distress. He does not like a blonde that is comfortable. And then I think recently, because mind you, I'm filming this on September 4th, I think she recently rekindled back with TJ. Listen, at the end of the day, ain't nothing wrong with spinning the block. Next Islander. Next we have Miss Shelly Basante. I love Shelly. The minute she was casted, I thought she was gorgeous. Let's talk about It Girl of the Season. It Girl of the Season. I don't give a damn about no hate train. Shelly was the It Girl of the Season. She had everybody. I think she had the most bodies. Not bodies, but you know, like, she had the most guys if you think about it. Charlie, Austin, Ace, Zach, Chris. Yeah, 5 people. Like, I really do think Shelly had the most guys this entire season. Like, she was that girl. And that's why they hate Shelly. I loved Shelly. There were some moments that I thought I was surprising. There were some moments I really didn't agree with her. But overall, y'all can't make me hate Shelly. Can't make me hate Shelly. You cannot make me hate Shelly. You can't. The thing with Shelly and Huda, which I don't really understand, because in the beginning, Shelly and Huda were close. Obviously, the whole thing with, Huda bringing back Chris or whatever the case may be, I wish Shelly would have just flat out said, I don't agree with this. I really don't want to do this, but I can't control what you do. You're an adult. So if you want to bring him back, then by all means do that. But just know that I never agreed to this, but at the end of the day, I can't tell you what to do. Her body language read that, but I wish she would just like verbally would have said that. So at least she can have, that back up and said, I never wanted this to happen. Like, I've never wanted you to do this. I actually told you to your face I didn't want to do this, but you're going to do what you want to do anyway. So whatever. I wish she could have said that. Sometimes you got to say it so people won't be confused in translation, okay? But as far as the heart rate challenge and that whole situation, I agree with Shelly 3000%. I don't know. I feel like when you're talking about Love Island and like the premise of the show, usually people do their big ones on people who they are interested in or people who they are coupled up with. Sierra did her big one when it came to Nick. Alandra did her big one when it came to Tilly because she was still somewhat interested in him. Elan did her big one when it came to Sierra because he was someone still interested in her. So why are you doing your thing with Ace? We now know now that she chewed out Ace too. It wasn't, everybody kept saying, oh, why she didn't say nothing to Ace. She should have said something to Ace. We all know now that she definitely said something to Ace. Ace confirmed it. Because I knew Shelly wasn't tripping for no reason. Shelly never gave that vibe that she gets mad for no reason or gets mad at the drop of a hat. She never gave that vibe throughout this entire season. So the minute she got upset, why was everybody so confused? It must be something serious because this is Shelly we're talking about. Shelly was a chill girl, getting all the guys, wasn't really in no drama. I hate how people did not give her grace for that. I really hate it. People did not give her grace for that. It was so sad to see how black women just are not given the same grace as other women. Like, it was so sad to see. I knew Shelly wasn't tripping because watching that heart rate challenge, she had every right to be mad. But let's move on to the Queen Bee. Alandria. Alandria is my number one client. As you can see, my number one client, Miss Alandria Carthen Van Steenberg. That is my number one client. Let's go ahead and call it out. Let's go ahead and manifest this, period. No, the minute I found out she was from Alabama, as a Southern girl myself, I immediately was ruining for my good sis. Let me tell you something about Alandria. I resonated with her so much. To some points, it triggered me. She was mothering that entire villa, and it was so hard to see how she was mothering everybody, and she was so good and giving advice to everybody. So forthcoming with everybody and was, very nurturing everybody. And the one person that she needed that from was not able to give it to her. Like, it was so frustrating. And I knew the minute she kissed Nick and wanted to end it, I knew exactly what she was doing. She was putting Sierra first before herself. Ain't no way you kissing somebody like that and you're just like, yeah, no, we're friends. No, I knew what she was doing. I am not the oldest child. I am the middle child, but I do have a tendency of putting everyone before myself and making sure everyone else is straight before I'm straight. And just as long as everyone else is happy, like I'm gonna be okay. Like, and as long as they're comfortable, I don't mind not being comfortable. And I love her loyalty, even if it's not reciprocated. I didn't really see it with Nick in the beginning. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna yai. I really thought that we was gonna get another bombshell, someone like an Xavier Legette type, just like a tall, dark-skinned British man that was going to walk up in there like a Miguel type. I just knew somebody was going to walk in there and just sweep her off her feet. Like, Jalen was cute, but he just really wasn't given that. I feel like he was applying too much pressure. I don't know. And honestly, I feel like Jalen didn't stay in the villa enough before she had to make a decision. If Jalen would have stayed like a week or two, she definitely would have went over to Jalen. She definitely would have dropped Taylor. But I think Jalen was only in the villa for like 3 days. Like, I don't know. So I never saw it for Taylor with her ever. Literally, when the minute he said that the physical attraction is there, is not. The minute he said that, I was like, oh, he has to go. I don't know. I'm gonna get to Taylor in a minute, but I cannot stand Final Destination. Like, I cannot. Yeah, I'm so happy that she's flourishing outside the villa. She's making this money. She's getting Nick's collabs. She's going to New York Fashion Week. She's enjoying her time with Nick. And I'm happy that she was able to have a successful ending because it was rough. Yeah, love Alandria. I would never turn my back on Sooo. I root for that girl so much. She got me out here subscribing to TikTok channels. When have you ever seen me subscribe to a TikTok? When have you ever seen me subscribe to a TikTok? But I will for my good sis. At the end of the day got in. Let's talk about Ace. Like, I like Ace. Ace was funny. I'm not gonna lie. Even though throughout his recent interviews and how he was just being weird and I don't know, I can never fully hate Ace. I do think that he was also very entertaining as well. He was stirring up drama with the correct people. Like, if he would have stirred up drama with the girls, then I would have hated him. Like, you know, like Kendall was stirring up drama with the girls, was stirring up drama with the guys. He was stirring up drama with everybody. But with Ace, he was just stirring up drama with the guys. I thought it was very impressive how, I mean, from what we saw, it did give ringleader vibes, and I thought it was very impressive. Mind you, Ace is the youngest. I think Ace was like the youngest man in the villa at one point, if not the entire time. I'm not sure, but Ace was the youngest out of him, Nick, and Taylor. The fact that he was able to, I don't know, like run that freaking villa like the freaking Navy, like, you got to give it to him. Like, I don't know, like, if someone accused me of being a ringleader of some sort, I don't know, like, I'll take it as a compliment. Like, yeah, I'm a natural born leader, but I wasn't out here telling people what to do. I guess he took that as like kind of like a diss, but listen, I'm a leader, but I'm not telling folks what to do out here. Like, I'm just very blunt about my opinions. But I think it was just when it came to like advice, you know, Taylor and Nick, they went to him for advice, and he gives solid advice. Like, I don't know. Obviously, with his interview with Speedy, I have my own opinions about that. I'm gonna save that towards the end of the video. But as far as him during the season, I thought he was very entertaining. That man loved sitting back, licking his lip, like a purebred light skin. Like, I expected nothing less from a light skin than what Ace has provided throughout the season. But yeah, that's really all I got to say about Ace. Obviously, I have more to say about the end of the video when I talk about his interview. But next we have Nick. Nicholas. I'm not gonna lie. I thought Nick was a floozy. I'm not even gonna lie. I thought Nick was a man whore. Like, I really did. No tea, no shade. I did not see it with him and Alandria at all. I was literally on Twitter like, can we just wait till a bombshell come in? Like, why are we shipping her? Why are we shipping Alandria with Nick? But like, Alandria and Nick were just two different people on two different paths. Obviously, they're beautiful now, but I just didn't see it because he gave man whore. He did. I don't think there's not one bombshell that came in that he did not explore. And obviously, yes, that's what you're there for, but it's kind of hard to not think that, is this man really just a man whore in real life, or he really is just out here doing what we're supposed to do? But I don't know. Also, I did think he was a rat. That TikTok calling him a rat, I did like it. I'm not even gonna lie. I thought it was very interesting coming on him saying that he did not vote for Jeremiah out. Is very interesting to see that. I really did thought he just went whatever Ace said. Like, I really thought that he voted Jeremiah out. Like, I really thought he was on some snake shit. I'm not gonna lie. I was one of those people who was calling Nick shady. I really did. The only thing he was consistent about was getting Huda out the villa. And to be honest, you can't really be mad at him. You can't. Looking back, I don't know. Like, he voted for Austin to leave and he voted for Huda to go. So he was on the right side of history this whole time and nobody knew. Now, as far as him with Sierra, I think that he generally really liked her. I think that she just liked him more than he liked her. But I do think that he was really contemplating on leaving. Like, you know what I mean? And I don't think he took that lightly with him, you know, closing things off and being exclusive and contemplating leaving with her. So like, you know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just, I personally would have liked a conversation if I was Sierra. And obviously no one owes you anything in life, and I get that, but I felt like at the end of the day, they had sex. They were exclusive, which was like the step before boyfriend and girlfriend. I would have wanted a conversation. I don't know, but it is Love Island. It is what it is. You know, people move on all the time. I've watched the Love Island UK version. Harry and Helena, they were exclusive and closed off, and he broke it off and went with Shakira. So I think that one was more harsh than the one happened in Love Island USA. Helena was still in the villa. Sierra was removed from the villa. So, and for people who are like mad that Nick moved on too quick, like what is he supposed to do? Like twiddle his thumbs? Like, of course you have to couple up with Alandria. Like, he wants to just sit there? No, either couple up with someone else or you go home too. I don't know. I think Alandria had every right to want to explore with Nick. That's what they're there to do. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest, I do feel like Nick owes Sierra a conversation, or at least a paragraph in the, you know, an Instagram DM, something. You know what I mean? You ain't gotta sit down in no coffee shop, but like just some type of something, you know? Last but not least, we have Taylor, aka Final Destination, aka Body Locks, aka Two Lock Shakur, aka Buffalo Boneless Dreads. Can we just safely say, and I've said it in the beginning of this video, he was only brought on the show because of Alandria. Let's be for real. He needs to go ahead and cure up a thank you note right now and send it to Alandria and thank her for getting him on the show. They casted that cowboy because of what Alandria wanted a cowboy. I don't care what no one says. Someone backed out at the last minute and he was brought in. And I do believe that he was brought in for the simple fact that he was a cowboy and that's what Alandria wanted. Can't nobody tell me any different. Taylor will always have a hater out of me. Like, I'm just going to be honest. Could he possibly be a great person? Maybe. He possibly may be the greatest person ever, the sweetest person ever. But based off of his actions, even post-Villa, I don't think so. But we just going to have to wait and see on that one, okay? I think it was just so frustrating to me is how he was trying to flip what Alandria was stating on her. All Alandria wanted was transparency and honesty. She felt there was a disconnect, but he wasn't being honest with her and telling her what it was. Like she said it in the stand-up business challenge, I would reassure him every time. I reassure him even when Jalen came, and he couldn't do that for me. And I think she had every right to feel that way, because it's like, if you can't reassure her and say there's, you know, whatever, at least be honest with her and say, I'm not physically attracted to you. That is the reason why it just wasn't there for me. He tried to flip it and make it seem like, oh, you want me to move to keep you in a villa. I'm not moving to keep you in a villa. I don't think that's what she was asking at all. I think it was a matter of, clearly there was a disconnect between me and you. Every decision you have made has not considered my feelings, have not considered me in the slightest. And I've always considered you. Why was that not reciprocated? And he could easily say it right there. I was not attracted to you. I was forced to be here by the producers. According to Ace, he was forced to be there by the producers. And I feel like he had ample amount of opportunity to just be honest with Alandria, and he could not do that. And he's still out here talking to Keke Palmer, talking about something, oh, they just hate me because I chose Clark. No one hates you because you chose Clark. Clark is gorgeous. It's just how you went about it. You're trying to blame Alandria for wanting you to be honest with her. Chabu. Taylor will always have a hater out of it. Clark just happy she got chose, and now they out here doing 20 V1s like they freaking 16 years old. Those are all the Islanders I wanted to talk about today. Like, obviously we have Pepe. He's cute and all, but it's like, I don't really care. I really didn't care too much about his experience. Yeah, and also like the Casa people, like Coco, Clark, Chris, Zach, Elan. Really didn't care to deep dive on them. Their storylines wasn't really, it really didn't make a big difference on the plot at hand. So I didn't really care to really talk about them. But anyway, let's talk about this reunion, child. What? We made it to the reunion. I liked the reunion. Is it just me? Like, I could tell a lot of y'all was not here last year, but when I tell you last year reunion was nothing but ass. If you were here for season 6, this was definitely a step up for sure. I think Andy was a perfect addition to the reunion. We all know Andy know how to get into the tea. He know how to answer the questions. It was a perfect addition. Like, I thought it was chef's kiss. Obviously, I feel like there are some things I wish they really didn't talk about, or if they were going to talk about it, at least keep it short and sweet. Like, especially the whole Jaden and Austin thing. Like, no one cared if they were still together or not. Like, Charlie had a whole spiel. Like, okay, we get it. Like, you're mad. But the only thing he was right about is that Taylor should have went home. I agree. Jeremiah ate down. And this is what I mean once I said Jeremiah having a redemption arc. He ate down. I love how he articulated the definition of love bombing. I love how he articulated that. He was studying that. You can tell that man was studying it. He was studying that read. He was studying that read. He was studying that read, honey. Down. He looked at Ace and said, does that make sense, Ace? Oh, he ate down. He ate. I didn't think he was love bombing her at all. I thought he was just scamming. I really did. I genuinely agreed with Ace that I thought he was scamming to get there. He was like, why would I do that for 6 weeks and then have to go through CASA and then have to do all of that for 50K? Like, I'm not doing all that. Yeah, how are we supposed to know that? We don't know you like that. What that? I'm happy they showed the deliberation of him being eliminated. To be quite frank, let's be honest. Ace and Taylor were some haters, specifically Taylor, because he was snitching to Daddy Ace, talk about some Jeremiah was doing the same thing with Huda. Why is he telling you? Who are you to him? Yeah, this is why they called Ace a ringleader. Why is Taylor running you? I think Taylor was exposed for being hating ass bitch, and so was Ace. Shelly and Alandra tag team and Coco, they ate that. I don't care what I was. Honey, when Alandra did that roll call, she said Clark, Vanna, Jaden, Grace said, oh, she ate that. She said roll call, let's ask the class. She ate. Listen, I didn't watch the podcast with Coco. Coco did seem very apologetic. She's like, I was not trying to throw shade. Like, it wasn't like that. Like, I regret my decision going on that podcast. She seemed very apologetic. My good sis was not trying to hear that. And it's kind of hard to believe that she was not trying to be shady, because she was also liking comments saying that Alandra and Shelly should have been gone and Coco should have stayed. Like, she was also liking shady comments. So it's kind of hard to believe that she was not being shady. And I'm happy Shelly and Alandra were able to address how people was jumping on the hate train, because it was a big hate train against them both. I'm happy we finally figure out why Shelly and Alandra followed them. People thought it was Alandra following Shelly, but Alandra had her own reasons. I did not know Alandra saw, because I saw that photo too, and I thought it was just like something that was deep in like Twitter that, you know, you had to dig to find. But no, but she was able to find that. And the fact that she told Huda about the photo as well, like, that's crazy to me. The thing about Huda is, like, she was so quick to address the Wendy situation. She was so quick to address the stream situation, but people thought that she was being weird towards these other content creators. She was ready to shut that down. She was quick to shut that down. But when it comes to Shelly and Alandra, all of a sudden I'm too busy. Oh, like, she's a weirdo. You cannot make me like her. Now she coming for Andy Cohen. Oh, she's getting too gas. She's getting too gas. That girl's getting blacklisted, and I can't wait. Talk about he is Zionist, but you work here with Sephora. Be so for real. And then they finally got into the heart rate challenge. As I stated before, Shelly had every right to go off. She had every right to be upset. Maybe she should have set boundaries when it comes to Ace. Sometimes you're in a situation where you feel like you don't need to. Sometimes you feel like people just get it. Like, we've been talking for how long? Like, you know that's me. You know, like, you see me, you see him, you see him, you see me. Like, you know this. Like, I shouldn't have to set boundaries on it that you know is what? I'm happy they was able to show the world that Shelly had every right to be mad, even though I knew from the beginning that she had every right to be mad, even if I didn't see what happened. But yeah, the reunion was good. I give the reunion, I give it 8.5. I give it 8.5. I enjoyed it. Compared to last year, this was definitely an improvement. Let's keep up the good work. Let's move on to post-reunion drama, also known as Alan Green. If you haven't been catching up with the Islanders post Villa, Ace was not doing a lot of press, except for when it was like mandatory. I think like Access Hollywood and maybe like Inside Edition. He's been rejecting a lot of interviews and press since the Villa, and I thought it was just he was saving up for the reunion. He was saving up that energy. He was like, you know what, I'm saving all my energy. I'm getting my receipts down. I'm writing everything down. I'm dressing every single one of you hoes. I really thought that that's what he was waiting to do. The reunion came and went. He stood on nothing unless it was cut out. He then went on Speedy Norman's YouTube channel. He interviewed him. I mean, I'm guessing it was smart because I think they filmed it day before they released it. I'm guessing they were waiting for the reunion to drop to see what they didn't air, and then, you know, address the things that they didn't air. Like I said before, I can't fully hate Ace because, you know, I gotta support my Black people. Like, I'm sorry. I can fully hate Taylor. That's the only one I really hate. I can't fully hate Ace. Like, I can't. I really enjoyed the certain things that he talked about, like how Alandra and Shelly was everyone's therapist in the Villa, but yet they were branded as these mean girls, as these bullies. How he, you know, addressed certain things, especially when it came to Amaya, clearing things up. A lot of things he said made sense. Obviously, the thing that hit the media, hit the internet like a freaking tsunami was what he felt about Nicolandria. I don't know. I feel like you don't have to be a big Nicolandria stan or a big Alandria stan to know that was kind of weird on his end. Ace didn't say anything, but we all know when it comes to interviews in media, celebrities interviewing, no answer is an answer. So him not answering that question and leaving a lot of ambiguity, I feel like that's what caused more harm than good. Let me give you my opinion about how I feel about Nick Alandria. I love Alandria. As you can see, she's my #1 client. As I said in the video, I didn't really see it for Nick in the beginning, but the minute he started complimenting her and telling her how beautiful she is and all that stuff, I was like, now wait a minute. The Nick Alandria hive may have been onto something. I like Nick because of how he treats her. Like, I felt like Alandria is getting the treatment that I've wanted for her since day one. And that's what I really wanted. I wanted someone to sweep her off her feet, whether it was a bombshell or whether it was one of the guys that was already in the villa, or if Taylor would have got his act together. Like, I just wanted her to have that energy. Now, the last person I thought was going to give her that energy was Nick. I'm not going to lie. When it comes to if I think they're fake or not, I don't think they're fake because of how Alandria is with him and how squishy she is. She gets real schoolgirlish. I'm talking about schoolgirlish. Like, she gets really soft and squishy when she talks about Nick. As soon as Keke Palmer brought up Nick, she said, like, that girl is gone. She is good as gone. Like, we can only hope for her sake and just for her heart and her mental that he is into her as much as she's into him, because I can tell that that girl likes him. Like, after he didn't answer the question, he kind of just said, you know, when I spoke to Nick, all he said was, she's attractive, she's attractive, she's attractive. But my thing is, when he asked him in the villa, he asked Nick, he said, are you wanting to pursue this romantically? And he said, yeah, that's what I came here to do. So I'm just confused as to why he like felt like, oh, he just said that she was attractive. Like, babe, we saw you see him talk to him. We saw you, babe. He literally said he gets the flutters. Unless that was fake too. Was he influenced to say that from the conversations he had with you? Like, I would think those were his genuine feelings, how he genuinely felt. Like, and then it's crazy because at the end of the video, said I haven't talked to Nick. So it's like, do you even know what's the current update? Child, I don't know. At the end of the day, like I said, I think it's real. I mean, she gets a Zendaya laughing. You know how when Zendaya was laughing at anything when it came to Tom? She's Zendaya laughing when it came to Nick. She like that man. Quit playing. I wouldn't be surprised if she did fall back from Ace, because we can all sit here and say, oh, Ace was speaking his truth. Ace was just being honest. Ace was just being honest. But he could also say, I don't know. Like, I hope so, you know? Because that's also being honest. I don't know. Only time will tell, child. But and then he started talking about Nick. I'm saying how him and Nick were not as close anymore due to how Nick answered a question about the Final Four. I don't know if he was referring to what he said in the reunion or what he said on Watch What Happens Live. On Watch What Happens Live, Nick said, you know, they deserve to be in the Final Four because America voted for them to be in the Final Four, which is a valid answer. They deserve to be there because America voted them to be there. Like, what was he supposed to say? Like, I don't know what Ace wanted from Nick in that question, because, you know, sometimes a PR answer is simply just that. It's a PR answer. It's nothing personal. I'm guessing he wanted Nick to defend his character because Ace was getting a lot of hate, calling him a ringleader, all that stuff. I mean, I get it, wanting your friends to stick up for you. Like, I get that. But I feel like we also have to understand that there's nuance in the situation. Nick was also dealing with his own hate, and he was also dealing with Alandria's hate as well. He was getting hate for people calling his relationship or his interest in Alandria fake. He literally had to take Alandria's phone because Alandria was getting death threats and racism. He was dealing with his own shit with his own relationship. Like, I'm confused as to why you wanted him to defend your character when you could have easily done that yourself. I see a lot of people saying Ace just wanted Nick to do what Alandria wanted Huda to do. Like, I feel like that's different, because the reason why Alandria wanted Huda to say something because it was her stance. Nick Alandria High was not calling Ace a ringleader. The world was calling Ace a ringleader. It wasn't Nick's stance. It wasn't Alandria's stance. It was probably the Amaya Papaya stance. So I don't know. Like, that's different. Like, the reason why Alandria wanted Huda to say something because it was her fans. Don't get me wrong. If Ace would have said, I feel like Nick says one thing in front of me and says another thing to other people, and I feel like this is like a pattern I've noticed of him, and I'm not really fucking with it. If he would have said that, I guess Nick is two-faced. Who am I to say that he's wrong about casting judgment on somebody that I don't know? But he's defining his friendship with him based off of something that he said that he didn't care about. Ace said that he didn't care being in the Final Four. He didn't care being in the top four because he came and got what he wanted, which was Shelly, which was someone to, you know, spend his life with. Like, he came and got what he wanted, and he was fine leaving at any time. So I was so confused as to why you're mad at him for saying a different answer when you's the one who said you didn't care. I understand the principle of it, and I get that. I don't know. I just didn't think there's worse things that Nick could have done, like bash you. Like if someone said it on YouTube, I forgot what channel it was, but it came off very self-serving. It came off very much like, you should have done this for me. You should have done this for me, for me, for me, for me. Well, have you ever considered what Nick had to go through and what Nick, you know, like, I don't know. It was just, I personally wouldn't have let that define my friendship with someone. But then again, I don't know. I haven't been on Love Island, so I can't really tell. And before I close out, I do understand Nick is very diplomatic. I do feel like sometimes he does he does straddle the fence sometimes, but I don't know. I feel like, listen, he stood up for Alandria, which is what counts, which is what matters, because Alandria should be the priority. That's the person he's seeking romantically. Ace is a Leo, and Leos love loyalty. At the same time, it's like, babe, you can't get mad at someone for saying a PR answer, especially when it's regarding a subject that you say you didn't care about. That's all my notes I have for this season. I'm so ready to be over this season. I'm so ready to be over it. Today's what? September 4th. I think all the couples in the final four broke up, but Alandria and Nick, I really do hope they go the distance. And even if they are fake, I hope Alandria gets every single bag that is handed to her. I'm a Nick Alandria hive, sorta, but I'm an Ola doll mainly. I really do feel like Love Island should take a break next year. I feel like we should return back in 2027 for Love Island season 8. I feel like we should just take a 1-2 year break because this was a lot. And shout out to Serena and Cordell for putting Love Island USA on the map, because it was a blessing and a curse at the same time. So yeah, that's it for me. If you stayed to the end, oh my god, you must really like what I had to say. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm gonna try to get this out as soon as possible, but I'm a terrible editor and I work a full-time job. I'll see y'all in my next video. If y'all can't hear me, I'm not shooting this again.